Hello and a very warm welcome to this edition of India Votes on Rajya Sabha television. I'm Vaibhav Verma. First up, the headlines. Voting underway in 64 constituencies across 7 states. This is the penultimate phase of the 2014 Lok Sabha elections. Many key candidates in the fray in this phase. All eyes on Amethi, where Congress's Rahul Gandhi is being challenged by the BJP's Smriti Irani and Aam Aadmi Party's Kumar Vishwas. Simultaneous assembly polls being held in Andhra Pradesh along with voting for 25 Lok Sabha seats. Crucial Simandhra test for TDP and YSR Congress's Jagan Reddy. And BJP's Giriraj Singh finally gets bail in the alleged hate speech case after surrendering in a court in Bihar. Polling is underway in 64 parliamentary constituencies in 7 states in the penultimate phase of the Lok Sabha elections. Polling started at 7 a.m. and will continue till 5 p.m. All 25 Lok Sabha seats in the Simandhra region of Andhra Pradesh, 15 seats in Uttar Pradesh, 7 in Bihar and 6 seats in West Bengal are going to polls today, besides some seats in Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand and Jammu and Kashmir. There's a total of 897 candidates in the fray for the 64 seats where voting is being held. In all, elections to 502 Lok Sabha constituencies will be completed after today's exercise. After today, there's just one phase left. Polling for the remaining 42 seats will be held on the 12th of this month. Polling is also being held today in 175 assembly seats of Simandhra. Besides 25 seats for the Lok Sabha, the Simandhra region of Andhra Pradesh is also voting to elect the state assembly. Voting is also on here for 175 Vidhan Sabha seats. Polling started at 7 a.m. in Kurnool. Our correspondent Raj Rao sent us this report.
We are in one of the crucial polling booths in Kurnool district. In fact, it is very near to the Kurnool town. I can show you the activities happening in one particular polling booth. You can see the nameplate and these name list, including the candidates' symbol and his name and his details and his party are listed as on EVM's order. You can find a similar order once you go to a polling booth, and if you can see the electronic voting machine, this is the order in which everything is placed. Remember, Andhra Pradesh state is going to polls at a time when on a same day when Lok Sabha is also going to poll. Let me take you to one of these polling booths and will give you a perspective of what is happening inside the polling booth. You can see electoral officers are busy with their daily activity on a polling day. You can see numbering, you can see ink is being prepared for candidates and webcast for live telecast of these electronic voting machine voting procedures are being telecasted here. We can see officers busy in their routine work on an election day. Let's try and understand what is the polling process and how once the candidate or a voter enters into polling booth, what is the procedure? We'll try to understand and we'll try to speak to one of the polling officers here. Sir, just tell us, what is the procedure once a voter enters into this particular booth, sir?
So, whenever the voter enters into the polling station, first of all, his ID card and his voter slip is verified there. After verified there, so those officers will verify whether the corresponding voter is in the given list or there. The mark list will be there. In the mark list, they are going to verify whether the voter is having its ID, its number is there or not. After that, he is given a slip, and after that, he will be marked as a finger on the finger. They mark the voting thing. So after that, they issue the voter slip for the voter. So after getting the voter slip, here I will verify that voter slip and I will issue the ballot here.
Okay, sir, Lok Sabha election and assembly elections happen on the same day. So what is the order? Will he vote for the Lok Sabha first and then go to assembly? What is the process?
Here first Lok Sabha must be given. After that, he will go to the assembly.
Okay, sir, what are the security arrangements? Has government provided enough facilities for you and their officers?
Yes, here, okay. We are sufficient protection is there here.
Okay, he's saying that government has provided them sufficient facilities in this particular polling booth. They are all set for the election, a long day election, in fact, in this Kurnool district today. With camera person Manoj, Raj Rao, Rajya Sabha TV.
And about an hour into voting, Raj Rao joins us live from Kurnool. Raj, voting for Lok Sabha as well as the State Assembly in Simandhra today. Do you detect a definite tilt among the voters, either in favor of the YSR Congress or the BJP-TDP combine?
Vaibhav, it's been only 1 hour. I'm standing in the same polling booth. You can see the change in crowds. That was an empty polling booth in the first few minutes of the polling process. Now you can see the ample number of crowd gathering in this particular polling booth. In fact, the competition between YSR Congress and TDP BJP alliance is encouraging voters to come and participate in and vote in more numbers, because actually it should have been a three-cornered contest between these three parties because of the formation of the state and because of Congress party's cadre joining YSR Congress and TDP. Now the contest has become bipolar, and options for the voters have become very easy. Options are available for them. So there are two parties, so either they have to choose one party or the other.
Right. Raj, the voters will be electing the first government of a new state today. What sort of impact will the bifurcation of the state have on their minds as they go into vote?
See, bifurcation has very crucial impact when it comes to developmental activities, because they lost a city called Hyderabad. Of course, for 3 years, it will be a common capital, but for the people in Andhra Pradesh of the 13 districts, especially in Rayalaseema and coastal Andhra, they want a capital to be built in the new state so that employment and infrastructure can be generated, because majority of the people and youth, they go to Hyderabad for their job and employment opportunities. Now they have to look for another place like Hyderabad. It will take a lot of time, but government and political parties have made this a campaign issue and electoral issue, so to woo voters here, because employment, and there are at least a maximum number of youth voters are there, and the first time voters are there, women voters are there, so employment opportunities in the new capital matter a lot. So that was the crucial issue in election. And other than these issues, the caste factor matters here. Reddy versus Kapu, Reddy versus Kamma factor will remain the same, and the caste equations between minorities will impact the vote, and political parties have tried their best to woo voters on all the fronts. If you can talk about money spending, Andhra Pradesh has been the first state to spend crores and crores of money in campaigning. You can see the crowds gathering here, but whether this is because of their loyalty towards particular political party or they're voting for development, this election gives a clear picture, because they want a stable government at state, and that can bargain its center to get more funds to build the capital. Vaibhav.
Raj, thank you for joining us. Moving on, at the threshold of bifurcation, Andhra Pradesh is all set to be a major swing state in the overall results. Raj Kamal Rao gets us a perspective on what's expected.
The high decibel campaign has come to an end in Andhra Pradesh. The state will vote in the 8th phase to elect 25 MPs for Lok Sabha and 175 MLAs for its new assembly. The second phase of polls in Andhra Pradesh will be crucial for Congress, as sentiments are running high in this region against the bifurcation of the state. YSR Congress and TDP are going all out to exploit the issue to get maximum seats. Here is how they stand as of now. In 2009, Congress had the upper hand courtesy former CM YSR Reddy. His death has been a big blow for Congress's influence in the state. The bifurcation of Andhra Pradesh and TRS's decision not to ally with them has further dented Congress's chances. The Election Commission has called in 272 central police companies and 1.2 lakh police personnel to conduct free and fair polling. 50,000 EC personnel have reached their polling booths in remote areas. Election Commission is using 1,26,000 EVMs to conduct polls. These elections will be crucial for Jagan Reddy, as his political future is at stake. For TDP and BJP, this election is critical to its hope of forming the next government at the centre.
Creation of a separate state of Telangana has created and changed the political spectrum in state of Andhra Pradesh. Tomorrow's election will be crucial for the people, as they are going to elect their first chief minister from this region. With camera person Manoj from Simandhra, Raj Kamal Rao, Rajya Sabha TV.
Polling is also underway in 6 parliamentary constituencies of West Bengal. Bankura, Asansol, Medinipur, Jhargram, Purulia and Bishnupur are going to polls in this phase. Here again, at least 3 constituencies are Maoist-affected areas and heavy security is in place. Pranav Goswami joins us live from Kolkata. Pranav, West Bengal is known to vote heavily. The last phase recorded over 81% turnout. Do you see signs of that in the first hour of voting today?
Yeah, you are absolutely right. And West Bengal has always recorded very high voter turnout. And if you see in a few rounds which has already happened in West Bengal, it was around 80%. So definitely we'll be expecting very high voter turnout in this round also in West Bengal. If you talk about the political situation in West Bengal, in 2009 election, Left Front had won all 6 seats, and Left Front will be definitely under huge pressure to retain those 6 seats. And if you compare the vote margin from 2004, also Left Front had won all 6 seats. But in 2009, the vote margin drastically dropped. And in these seats also, BJP this time seems to be in a better position, at least in Bankura and in Asansol seats. And you've been seeing and we've been noticing that Mamata Banerjee, Trinamool Congress chief, is attacking on Narendra Modi, and that shows, and it seems that BJP has snatched the main opposition space from CPM, at least in Lok Sabha elections. So it is going to be very interesting battle in West Bengal.
Pranav, what about security concerns? There were massive complaints of booth rigging in the April 30th phase in West Bengal. What kind of corrective measures have been taken this time round?
Election Commission has made special arrangements and special measures have been taken. Central paramilitary forces have been deployed apart from the local police. And these 6 constituencies are most affected. So Election Commission is very careful, and we will be hoping for a peaceful polling in this round also.
Thank you, Pranav. Thank you for joining us. We'll just slip into a short break. There's lots more coming up on the other side on India Votes. Stay tuned. Welcome back. In Uttar Pradesh, 15 parliamentary constituencies are going to polls today. Some key VIP constituencies are among them. All eyes are on the Gandhi family bastion of Amethi. Then there's Sultanpur, where Varun Gandhi is fighting, besides big constituencies like Phulpur and Allahabad. Amid concerns of booth rigging by some political parties, the Election Commission has deployed 300 companies of central forces to oversee the process. Some of the seats are located in Naxal-affected regions of eastern Uttar Pradesh, and extra security cover has been provided to polling officials on duty. Kriti is with us live from Ghazipur. Kriti, crucial 15 of the 80 Lok Sabha seats in the state going to polls today. This is being touted as the second most crucial phase of the election in Uttar Pradesh. What is on top of the voter's mind as he queues up to cast his vote?
Right, Frank. Nowhere in India is caste politics as animated as it is in Uttar Pradesh. Candidates are selected on the basis of caste configuration and caste arithmetic. All the political parties have been involved in social engineering, and they've been trying to polarize votes of Yadavs, Jats, Ahirs, Brahmins, Bhumiyars, other backward castes, and based on religion as well. But the only silver lining is that the issues did not get eclipsed in all these. So if we talk about electricity, so the CAG reports point out that in 2013, the Uttar Pradesh government had to complete 13,000 kilometers of lines to provide electricity. But Frank, only 26% of work has been done. If you talk about surface highways, that's ironical because in all other states, surface highways have increased. But if you talk about UP, from 2004, it had 9,000 kilometers. But in 2011-12, it shrunk to 7,000 kilometers only. Sanitation, only 65% of households have access to toilets. And healthcare is another very important issue. It got humongous amount from the central government to the tune of 15,000 crore under the NRHM. But 2 out of 3 posts for the doctors is vacant, and half of the nursing posts are vacant. So all these issues are very crucial, and I think this will reflect on the voting pattern today. Back to you, Frank.
Kriti, Vaibhav here. In Amethi, do you see any sort of impact of Modi's rally here, which was held on Monday, sort of spilling over into the voting today?
Yes. See, the entire thing is that voters, it has been considered a Congress bastion, but Modi kind of defied that unsaid norm. So the point is that will voters really vote for Modi is a big question, because Congress has a stronghold given the fact that Rajiv Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi and now Rahul Gandhi. But again, the third factor has emerged, Kumar Vishwas, who's going door to door to really convey this to people that he is about to bring the change. So let's see, this is going to be a very interesting political battle. But as of now, it seems to be a Congress citadel. Back to you, Vaibhav.
Right, Kriti, thank you for joining us. Several heavyweight candidates are in the fray in the penultimate phase of polling today. Amethi seat in Uttar Pradesh, which promises to be a three-pronged contest, will be one of the closely watched ones. Besides Amethi, several key leaders including Ramvilas Paswan, Rabri Devi, Jagan Mohan Reddy, Chandrababu Naidu and Vasudev Acharya are in the fray today also. Take a look at some details.
The 8th phase of Lok Sabha polls will see the fate of several heavyweight candidates sealed. With maximum number of seats at stake, Andhra Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal has the most number of prominent names. In Uttar Pradesh, the most keenly watched contest will be in Amethi, where Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi will face stiff challenge from BJP's Smriti Irani and Aam Aadmi Party's Kumar Vishwas. In neighbouring constituency of Sultanpur, Rahul's cousin, BJP's Varun Gandhi, will also be in fray. Union Minister Beni Prasad Verma is seeking re-election from Gonda, while cricketer-turned-politician Mohammad Kaif will contest on Congress ticket from Phulpur. In Bihar, LJP chief Ramvilas Paswan hopes to win Hajipur seat. His party has allied with BJP at the centre. RJD chief Lalu Prasad's wife and former Bihar Chief Minister Rabri Devi will be in fray from Saran, a seat represented by her husband so far. In Andhra Pradesh, where the state will vote for both Lok Sabha and a new assembly, there are several key names in the fray. In the assembly polls, TDP chief Chandrababu Naidu and YSR Congress chief Jagan Mohan Reddy will be contesting as the two potential candidates for the post of chief minister. In the Lok Sabha polls, Jagan's mother Vijayamma will be in the fray from Visakhapatnam, while Congress's KC Deo will seek re-election from Araku seat. Union Minister MM Pallam Raju will look for a straight fourth win from Kakinada seat. In West Bengal, CPM's Vasudev Acharya will lead the left front's challenge in this phase. He is up against TMC's new entrant, actor Munmun Sen. Singer Babul Supriyo is also in the fray from Asansol on BJP ticket. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And in other election-related news, the district administration in Amethi has rejected Aam Aadmi Party's complaint of high-handedness while evacuating non-voters in the area. Aam Aadmi Party's candidate Kumar Vishwas had alleged that even his family members were forced to leave Amethi a day ahead of the polls. FIRs have been registered against several Aam Aadmi Party leaders, including Kumar Vishwas and Somnath Bharti. Here's more.
A day before Amethi goes to polls, the Aam Aadmi Party candidate from the constituency, Kumar Vishwas, has alleged high-handedness by the district administration. The leader alleged that his wife, sister and other close relatives have been asked to leave Amethi by the district administration, failing which they will be detained. He also alleges that some of his volunteers were detained and their bags were thrown away.
अमेठी का पुलिस प्रशासन जो है वो पूरी तरीके से राहुल गांधी को जिताने के लिए जुटा हुआ है। जो बुलेरो बाहर से आई हैं, हरियाणा से आई हैं कांग्रेसियों के, जिन्होंने हमारे कार्यकर्ताओं को बेरहमी से पीटा है, जिसमें लोगों की हड्डियां टूटी हैं, वो मुंशीगंज गेस्ट हाउस में रुकी हुई हैं। हमने कई बार उनको लिख के दिए, नंबर लिख कर दिए, व्यक्ति का फोटो दिया, लेकिन उसके बाद भी उन्हें छू नहीं पाई है।
इन सब लोगों ने जिस तरह से हमें हमारे साथ पक्षपातपूर्ण रवैया अपनाया है, उसे साफ साफ जाहिर ये होता है कि फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शन तो यहाँ नहीं होगा जब तक ये पूरी की पूरी लोकसभा क्षेत्र किसी सेंट्रल फोर्स के अधीन ना किया जाए। पहली चीज। दूसरी चीज हमने ये भी कही, लिखित में भी कही कि भाई पूरे के पूरे जितने पोलिंग बूथ्स हैं सबको 100% वीडियो रिकॉर्ड किया जाए, सबको सीसीटीवी मॉनिटर किया जाए।
But the district administration has defended its action, saying they were only following rules. According to the rule book, all non-registered voters and supporters of a candidate are supposed to leave the constituency after campaigning ends.
बड़ा स्पष्ट निर्देश है कि केवल वोटर ही यहाँ रह सकता है। जो वोटर नहीं है उसको जिला छोड़ना पड़ेगा। उसमें अगर कोई छूट मिली है तो कैंडिडेट को छूट है, इलेक्शन एजेंट को छूट है और एक्सपेंडिचर एजेंट को छूट है, बाकी लोग नहीं रह सकते हैं।
उनके द्वारा वायलेशंस उनके लोगों द्वारा कई बार किए गए हैं। चुनाव आचार संहिता के शिकायतें प्राप्त हुई हैं, जो दर्ज की गई हैं, मुकदमे कायम किए गए हैं, ये बात सही है। और बाकी बातें जो है अरेस्ट किया गया या निष्पक्षता पर कोई बात है तो ये सारे आरोप में निराधार हैं, गलत है, झूठे हैं।
Amethi is going to witness a three-way contest between Congress, BJP and Aam Aadmi Party. Kumar Vishwas hopes to turn the tide against Rahul Gandhi, who is seeking re-election from Amethi. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
On the campaigning front, all focus is now centred on constituencies going to polls in the last phase on the 12th of May. Political bigwigs and some star power are in the campaign overdrive in several states. On Tuesday, Congress's Rahul Gandhi addressed rallies in Uttar Pradesh. Modi campaigned in 4 areas. Aam Aadmi Party's Arvind Kejriwal also held a massive roadshow in the interiors of Varanasi constituency. Take a look.
The last phase of polls will see some of the most crucial seats in Uttar Pradesh going to polls. With a total of 80 Lok Sabha seats, the state boasts of sending the maximum number of MPs. Quite naturally, party bigwigs are targeting the last 18 seats in fray in the state next week. Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi addressed 2 rallies in UP on Tuesday. Addressing the voters in Mirzapur and Jaunpur, Rahul spoke against politics of regionalism or religion.
एक तरफ कांग्रेस पार्टी, सोनिया गांधी जी, ललितेश जी, हमारी सोच, दूसरी तरफ विपक्ष की सोच। हम कहते हैं कि अगर हिंदुस्तान में प्रगति होगी तो इस प्रगति में सबको शामिल होना चाहिए। गरीब लोगों को, कमजोर लोगों को, किसानों को, मजदूरों को।
BJP's prime ministerial candidate Narendra Modi also held various rallies in Dumariaganj, Maharajganj, Bansgaon and Salempur in Uttar Pradesh.
देश को भरोसा देता हूं, मेरी राजनीति निम्न स्तर की नहीं है। मैं पैदा हुआ हूं नीची जाति में, लेकिन मेरा सपना है एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत।
He will be in fray from the crucial Varanasi seat on May 12th. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav also addressed 2 rallies in the state. The Samajwadi Party leader sought votes for his party candidates in Machli Shahar and Jaunpur.
3 साल लगातार हमें 1 लाख नौजवानों को रोजगार देना है। ये भी काम कोई कर रहा तो समाजवादी पार्टी कर रही है। कोई गांव नहीं होगा जहां पर हमारी पार्टी की उपलब्धि न पहुंच गई हो। 1,72,000 शिक्षा मित्रों को भी सम्मानित करने का काम किया है।
Pitching his Aam Aadmi credentials, party convener Arvind Kejriwal projected himself as an honest alternative to Congress and BJP candidates. He continued with his roadshow in Varanasi, where he will challenge BJP's PM nominee. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Returning officers of Vadodara and Ahmedabad have been told to look into complaints against the candidature of BJP Prime Ministerial nominee Narendra Modi. The complaint was filed by Aam Aadmi Party member Nishant Verma. It says that Modi should be disqualified from contesting the 2014 Lok Sabha elections for failing to mention his wife's name in the earlier election affidavits. The complainant has demanded the cancellation of the result of Mannagar Assembly seat from where Modi won the 2012 Assembly election. The Chief Electoral Officer of Gujarat called the complaint a routine process. He said his office will take a decision after getting a reply on the complaint. And moving on the agenda of any new government will be further steps to rehabilitate India's transgender community. Transgenders, who have long been considered unfit to mingle with and denied basic human rights, were given a legal reprieve recently. The Supreme Court had directed formalization of a 3rd gender, clearing the road for education and jobs for a section that is used to living on the fringes of society. Here's a report.
Time and again, they have been insulted, isolated and ridiculed, denied basic human rights and neglected. Transgenders, also known as eunuchs and she-males, have always struggled to make ends meet.
भगवान ने जो बना के भेजा है, हम अपनी ज़िंदगी में काफ़ी खुश हैं, लेकिन लोगों ने हमें खुश नहीं रहने देते। हमें हर जगह स्टिग्मा डिस्क्रिमिनेशन सहना पड़ता है, चाहे वो हॉस्पिटल है, चाहे वो मंदिर है, चाहे वो स्कूल है, इवन हम सोसाइटी भी है, हमें वहाँ पे भी काफ़ी स्टिग्मा दिखता है। लोगों के प्रति हमारा डिस्क्रिमिनेशन दिखता है, जो कि हमें शायद अच्छा नहीं लगता।
A recent Supreme Court ruling giving them recognition and rights raises hopes of corrections.
ताहा उम्र वैसी बीती कि जहाँ पे शरीर एक भोग की संपत्ति बन गई पुरुष प्रधान समाज की, बाद में यही समाज पलट के कहता है कि आप तालियां बजाते हो, आप तमाशे करते हो। तमाशा तो आपने बनाया हमारा, उस तमाशे के साथ जीना हमने सीख लिया। मैं कभी सोच भी नहीं सकती थी कि मेरे जीते जी सबसे यंग, सबसे जवान ये सिविल राइट मूवमेंट हमारे किन्नरों का, और हमें इतना कुछ दे दिया। हमारे न्यायप्रयाणी सर्वोच्च न्यायालय ने इतने प्यार से हमें इंसान तो समझा।
As a person of the trans community, I'm extremely exhilarated. I'm very happy about this ruling. This opens the space for transgender people to be able to get very good employment and very good educational opportunities.
The Supreme Court has directed centre and state government to include third gender category along with male and female categories in all documents and forms. The court recognizes transgenders as other backward castes, providing them greater scope to get education and employment. Transgenders are given the right to hold property, get a share of ancestral property and adopt a child. The court has further directed hospitals to create facilities to provide treatment to transgenders and build separate toilets for them. State governments have been directed to include transgenders in important social roles and ensure against their discrimination. The challenge remains implementing those directives.
ये जजमेंट के फैसले के द्वारा कि उनको ओबीसी माना जाए, ये बहुत ज़रूरी है। लेकिन ओबीसी माना जाएगा मतलब क्या, वो तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने आदेश दिया है। अभी जो भी प्रांत के सरकार हैं उन्हें अभी नए इंस्ट्रक्शंस इशू करने पड़ेंगे कि ये ओबीसी में है, ये ओबीसी में इनका इतना हिस्सा है, चाहे वो नौकरी के लिए हो, चाहे ये एजुकेशन के लिए हो, तो उनको फिर रिजर्वेशंस का फ़ायदा मिल सकता है। तो ये अभी जो अगला कदम है वो करना पड़ेगा।
But it's a long journey yet. Shaking off years of discrimination and ridicule that goes back centuries, born out of a different body structure and related misconceptions, is not going to come with only a court verdict. What has come is a newfound confidence. Having got this far, they believe better things are nearer too. Samina's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And with that, we come to an end of this edition of India Votes. Keep watching Rajya Sabha Television. Have a great day.